just first of all, your general thoughts on 5-0 and on how things have gone, first 5 weeks of the season.
5-0 is great. I think one of the things this group really needs is confidence, and they've earned it. They've earned the right. We talked all the way back to off season about having the ability to overcome adversity, and early on we weren't very good at that. But I think through the course of the season, they've learned some lessons about that, and they've continued to fight, and really done a great job. 5-0 is great, but now it's time to start a new season. I think more than anything else, that just gives these kids some confidence going into a tough district race.
You play overtime against El Paso Coronado, you win. You play a tight one against Tascosa and Amarillo, you win. How is that experience going to help these kids come district time, knowing they can win close games against good teams?
Right. Well, I think it's really going to be big for us because, like I said, during the course of a game, there's some chances where you get a chance to quit when we get down in all 3 of those games. And the kids continue to fight back, and I think more than anything else, obviously the opponents will be different, but they'll call back on what happened the last time, and I think that'll be huge for us because, like I said, in the district, there's going to be some tough knockdown dragouts, and having the ability to do that against quality opponents, I think, will be big for us.
Obviously, the next game is the most important game. Coaches always say that, but just talk a little bit about how big this first game is for you guys. Against Cooper, it's a tough opponent. They can score a lot of points. They can stop people. Is it your biggest game in the season right now?
For sure, without a doubt. And I think it would be that way anyone starting off in district, but you have the dimension of Cooper, who most people have picked as being a playoff team. That's one that you want to set your sights on, and you get a chance to play them at home. We have Abilene Cooper and Abilene High at home, and then we've got to go to Odessa and Odessa Permian, and so you got to take advantage of those games that you have at home and come up with a big win.
What is the thing that's either most dangerous or scares you most about Cooper? Or worries, I shouldn't say scares, but worries you most about Cooper?
I think offensively they're explosive. The 2 things that Cooper does a great job of is they grab the momentum and they keep it for an extended period of time. And the blowouts that they've had, they say that they're playing somebody that wasn't a quality opponent, but what they do is they take you out of your game, and they take the mistakes that you make and they magnify those and make those into a big deal. And so limiting their momentum swings is going to be huge for us, and then the explosives. So we've got to win the explosive battle, and I know they've got a lot of different weapons that they can go at, and so defensively focusing on that. I think the big thing that we've got to do is we've got to line correctly and be real sound discipline, and then we've got to tackle well. And that's the 3rd phase of those 3 to limit their big ones, but we've got to tackle, and they've got a lot of explosives over there, and then flip that over to offense, and we've got to make those happen for us and keep them off the field.
Do you feel like this is a game where you have to shorten the game to limit their possessions?
I'd like to shorten. I sure would. I'd like to, be able to snap the ball and be able to run it and keep them out of their sink. What people haven't done again is they just continue to give those guys big plays, and they stay on those big plays for time and time again, and we've got to get our defense off the field.
You guys have done a pretty good job throwing the ball, with Adrian McPherson and as well. I can't think of the other receiver's name. Savage. You guys have done a really good job of throwing. You can throw the ball, running the ball. Where do you feel like your running game is at heading into district?
Well, we're not where we want to be. That's probably the one area that we're still focusing on. We still feel like against Cooper we got a chance that we can run the ball on these guys. I think with Adrian running the football, it gives you an extra dimension of disguise because you get so many fakes involved in that. And Adrian has done a good job for us, but we've got to be better with our backs and getting them involved in the running game.
Is that been something that you hope would come along a little quicker?
Yes. Yeah, I really felt like the Tascosa game would be a breakout game for us with our running backs. And Jaqueline had 70 yards rushing, which was a good game for us, but not anything like we felt like that we'd have going into it. And you evaluate it, and after the game you're all upset and down on yourself as a play caller, and then you go back and look at it. And a lot of times it's just not us executing what we're supposed to execute.
How much different is, this is the final question, how much different is it preparing the week of district as opposed to preparing week for a non-district game?
I think the preparation is probably the same. You've got more games to go back to and refer back to, but you can just sense a little different intensity. When we met with our players this morning and went over scouting report, You know, they've been a focus group the entire year, but you could sense just a little bit more, and you don't want to take that too far and take it out of context where it's bigger. They just need to focus on their details and take care of the things that we continue to strive to do.
Do you as a staff feel any sense of difference this week?
No, not really. Well, yes. I think our defense, you know, being able to have to defend the run and the pass and the number of weapons they have, I think that's a big concern. And then, you know, defensively what they do is they take a lot of chances and a lot of risk, and they get the ball back to their offense. And so we understand what the defensive staff has to do to be successful, but we know as an offensive staff too that we play into that role of keeping the ball away from Cooper.
Thank you very much.